All right, class. First off, as always, good day. I'm glad you're here. So today's lesson is going to be, again, a little bit about Christianity, how it spread through Rome, a little bit more, basically kind of dominating it. And then we're going to get into the fall of Rome, how it ended, and what things were done, decisions made by emperors that basically kind of halted them and could have maybe the reasons why they ultimately fell. Okay. So here is the objectives. We're going to analyze how Rome's tolerance of Christianity grew. Because remember, they used to persecute them. They used to hunt them, basically, and feed them to the lions and things like that. Next thing, we're going to examine the decision to divide Rome. That's a big one that we're going to be talking about. And then the last one's create an argument on whether Rome, so I forgot to put Rome, sorry about that, was destined to fall. Was it inevitable, or could they have done something to prevent it? Okay. So here's your warm-up picture. Um, Basically, I put on there, make a list of things you see. What do you think this artist is trying to say? Okay. So I thought this was a little funny one. We've seen some pretty good ones. So go ahead and answer this. We're going to be moving on in 3, 2, 1. So here's the thing. As the Christian church grew, um, people like the priest and higher priests, which would be known later as bishops, they were given more responsibilities in the church communities, you know. So they were becoming a serious group at this time. Now, Christianity was also appealed to the masses, not just the people from certain areas. It started to gain traction, starting to get people to um, pay attention to them because it appealed to all social classes, not just the poor, but everyone, you know. Basically, Christianity promised eternal life for all, regardless of how wealthy you are, where you are in the social structure, or even if you're a guy or female. Right, sorry about that. I had a little visitor. But the thing is, yeah, even some religions, they basically like it depended if you're a male or female that you could reach paradise or you would be accepted. All right, but the Christian basically said, doesn't matter, you know. Now the thing is, in the fourth century, um, Emperor Constantine became a Christian. The thing was, though, he was not baptized. Okay, he was not baptized at birth as they usually do. But the thing was, he was baptized later in life, and it was rumored to be that it was about the time he almost died is when he was truly baptized and things like that. So in 313 AD, the Edict of Milan was this document was issued. It basically says that Christianity is going to be tolerated in Rome. So persecution of Christians is no longer legal. They can't do that. It's basically like you're committing murder, which it was, but now it's on paper, it's documented that boom, you can't not torture these people anymore. All right. So Emperor, I'm gonna kill this name. I've tried saying it so many times, but I keep messing up. Theodosius. This guy adopted Christianity as the official religion of Rome. Okay, so again, they started off small, and as time grew, now they are the official religion of Rome. Okay, and that uh, statue right there, that is the statue of Constantine. A lot of Christians revere him as like a righteous man and things like that because of his um, beliefs and his contributions to Christianity in Rome. All right, so here's my question to you. Why do you think it took about 250 to 300 years for Christians to finally be accepted by Roman leaders and their people? Why do you think it took so long for them to basically acknowledge them as, yeah, you're okay. You're good. Okay. And the next question is, what part do you think really attracted people to Christianity? And why do you believe this? So which one do you think that really got people to go, oh, we should be in this religion? Um, is you think it's because you could have eternal life without being rich, or you could have eternal life without being noble, or in a high level of social status? Do you think it's you can have eternal life even if you're not a man? Or do you think there's another reason? Tell me, what do you think attracted people to Christianity? And why do you think that's the case? Okay, so pause the video and be sure you write your answers because we're moving on in three, two, one. Now here's the thing. After Emperor Marcus Aurelius died, Rome was in a state of decline. Because again, Marcus Aurelius was one of the smartest um, Roman Empire emperors they ever had. There was a series of civil wars that broke out, and because of the Civil War, the economy in places tend to decline whenever the country is fighting amongst itself. Yeah, people are not really focusing on making things and try to sell them at a cheap price and things like that. Um, and the thing is, just between the civil wars and the economic decline, that almost alone brought the end of Rome. But the emperors, two of them, um, Diocletius, Diocletian and Constantine, they brought this rigid economic and social system. And it kind of, I'm going to say it completely restored it, but it made it good enough to where Rome was not going to fall. Okay. Now, Diocletian had this idea, he goes, I think the problem is that we are too big. Rome is just so large, and there's no way that if something happens, I can send troops over there, or if this place needs help, I can send help over there. Yes, it's just too big. I got it. I'm gonna break this place up into 4 sections, and that's what he did. So if you look on the map, each section has a different color. You got the kind of like mustard yellow, the kind of turquoise bluish green color, the purple, and then like the kind of like purplish pink area. So those are the 4 areas of Rome. Each section had their own ruler. The emperor was the main person, but each group had their own ruler, and then they would answer to him. Okay, so anything that happened in the mustard section area, that ruler there would take care of that. That was their area, that was their border. Same thing with that bluish area, anything that happened there, they would take care of it. Okay. Now, Constantine, what he did was his big project was to create a new capital in the east. He's like, we need something out here. This is going to be big, this place. And that basically created the Byzantine Empire. Okay. They called that place Constantinople. Today it's known as Istanbul. Okay, there's actually a song called Istanbul was Constantinople. It's a just look it up. It's by the group called They Might Be Giants. It's a fun little song. But yeah, they named the town after him. So here's my first question to you. Do you think it was wise to split up the empire into sections? Explain to me why you believe that. Okay. And the other thing is, it's obvious Constantinople was named after Constantine. And you can see me put the highlight in green what I mean. Constantine, Constantinople, Constantine. Okay, so you see how they're the same. If a town or city was going to be going to name itself after you using your name, what would you suggest? So using your name, just like how Constantine right there is in the city's name, um, what would you suggest a city be named if it was going to be named after you? You know, so think about it. What would you suggest? Okay, so take a couple minutes, write your answers. We're moving on in three, two, one. All right, so Diocletian and Constantine enlarged two industries. They made two things bigger. One was the military, and the other one was civil service. Okay, now here's the thing. It's one thing to say, hey, we need a bigger military, we need more structure, more roads and things like that, and more aqueducts. And it's one thing to say it, it's another thing to actually do it and pay for it. And that's where Rome had some issues that they were running out of money. They were legitimately running out of money. Now, some people think, like, how can they run out of money? Because the thing is, their population wasn't growing. So people weren't selling as much and things like that because, again, they need more workers. They need more people to trade with, things like that, to go on those trading trips and stuff like that. So they didn't raise enough taxes. And because of that, their money started becoming worthless. Now, here's the thing. In order to make sure that people had jobs and things like that, basically they made jobs hereditary, meaning it's passed down to the family members. So if your dad was a barber and it's your turn, you get of age, you were going to be the barber. And let's say you're like, I don't want to be a barber. I want to be an engineer. I want to be something else. I want to be in construction. No, you're the barber. Okay, now the thing is, this did work, but it was temporary. It wasn't meant to last forever. That's the bad thing. So by the time the last emperor came to control Rome, everything that was done before to try to get money, it was already done. Collect taxes, raise this, put tariffs, on foreign goods, just to make sure that they buy Roman stuff. Everything they did seemed to fail. Everything everyone did in the past. So the next emperor was like, the last emperor of Rome was just like, what do I do? Everyone else did everything else and it didn't work. you know. So that was an issue for that poor emperor. So now that Rome is basically getting weaker, the Western Roman Germanic tribes, and if you see the word is German, but they call them Germanic, they started putting pressure on them, from the West. Okay, so they start attacking them, and the thing is, the Huns were putting pressure on the eastern part of Rome. Now the thing is, um, the Visigoths, they were a specific German tribe. They were also feeling pressure from the Huns because the Huns were no joke. These group of guys from Asia were tough people. They were great warriors, and thing is, they were amazing with bow and arrows and horses, so they could easily strike multiple times fast. Um, and the thing is, they forced these Goths. It's another name for them. They forced that German tribe to basically get closer to Rome. And at one point, the Goths, who were always fighting Rome, they teamed up with Rome to basically go against the Huns. And they were able to push them off. So then the Goths were like, okay, hey, cool, good job. All right, we're going to go against you now. And they revolted against Rome. Right when the Huns were gone, that threat was gone. They go, okay, now we're going to attack you, Rome. We were friends for a second, but now not anymore. And that's what happened. So in 410 AD, Rome was taken over by the Goths. And then another group called the Vandals, they were another barbarian group. They took over Spain and Africa areas in 455. Now the thing is, this is the western side of Rome. Okay, so by 476, the western part, Romulus Augustulus, he was the last emperor of Rome, and he was kicked out by the head of the German army. He basically like manhandled them, like get out of here, and like treated them like garbage. So the pictures you see there, that is of Rome basically burning. And that's what happened. These German tribes came in and destroyed them. So while the western side is being destroyed, and so again, if you look at the map, that mustard colored yellow, the bluish area, and that kind of pink purple area, all that area is being destroyed by these German tribes, the barbarian tribes. But the Eastern Empire, the Byzantine Empire in Constantinople, they're doing pretty well. So they continue on their own and they become their own group, but ultimately Rome has fallen. Rome is gone. Okay. So here's my question to you. Do you think if Rome was still united, that they could have fought back against the barbarians? That because they were separated, this group wasn't getting help from this group, so that's why they fell. Or do you think, they were destined to fall? No matter if they were united or separated, into sections, they were destined to fall. It was going to happen no matter what. So tell me what you think and why do you think that way? Okay. So go ahead, write that out, pause the video, but we're moving on in 3, 2, 1. All right, now lastly, here's your exit ticket. Again, choose one of these questions. Why did Rome tolerate Christianity? So be sure to explain why, not just, oh, because they did. Explain why they did. What was the purpose? Again, look at how it started and where it ended up. Who was Christian and things like that. Okay. The next one is, do you think the German and other barbarian tribes knew the time was perfect to attack? Or do you think it was just luck? Because they attacked multiple times throughout the years. Do you think they knew, okay, Rome is getting weak, now's the time to attack? Or do you think it was just like, hey, look at, we're winning this time, let's keep going? So what do you think it was and why? The last one is, why do you think people tend to remember only the good things of Rome, the luxurious times and all those good things, but they don't really look at the mistakes that was made, by the emperors and stuff like that? So why do you think that? Okay, so answer one of those. And again, once you're finished, you are done with this class, this lesson. Hopefully you learned something new, and I will see you guys in class next week. Okay, so take care, be safe.